Let's talk to God.
Breathe gently as we enter this quiet place where the soul finally admits the weight it has been carrying. For there are seasons when the world around us feels like a corridor of closed doors, each one whispering no, each step echoing with limitations that make our dreams tremble. Yet something deep within refuses to die, a small trembling flame that somehow survives every storm. And here, Lord, we lay before you every disappointment, every moment when life insisted we were not enough, every voice that told us to stop trying, every impossibility that stood like a wall in front of our calling. Because even when everything around us said no, there was still that quiet pull inside urging us to keep moving. And maybe that is why someone listening right now feels their heart stirring in a way they cannot explain, as if heaven itself is leaning close to remind them that your go is stronger than any earthly rejection. So come, Lord, speak into this moment and awaken what has been fading. Touch the places where hope is fragile, and let your presence begin to whisper the direction only you can give. Lord, as we linger in this sacred stillness, something inside begins to remember moments we tried to bury, moments when we were certain the journey had reached its end, when every path looked impossibly narrow and every attempt felt like another failure. And yet here we are, breathing, standing, listening, because your hand never truly let go, even when we thought we had lost the strength to hold on. And in this tender quiet, I sense you drawing near to the one who feels defeated, to the one who has heard no so many times that their heart has started to believe it, to the one who questions whether they were ever meant to rise again. And as this realization brushes against their spirit, I feel compelled to invite them to gently open their heart right now, to allow your presence to slip into the cracks they've tried to hide, because you are not intimidated by closed doors or broken dreams, and you specialize in leading your children through passages no one else can see. So let this moment become the soft beginning of a shift only heaven can orchestrate. The breath before the breakthrough, the whisper before the command that changes everything. And now, Lord, as we walk a little deeper into this quiet valley of surrender, memories rise like distant echoes of times we trusted with all our strength and still watched everything collapse. And it is here, in the honest confession of our exhaustion, that we bring to you the places where hope has dimmed and courage has thinned, because pretending no longer serves us and silence no longer protects us. So let this vulnerable offering reach your heart as we acknowledge every wound that came from hearing no too many times, every moment we questioned our worth, every step we hesitated because disappointment had rewritten our confidence. And as these truths unfold, I sense you urging someone listening to let go of the fear that has been gripping their chest, inviting them to breathe you in again, to let your presence wrap around their trembling thoughts. Because you are not limited by the boundaries that life has drawn. And when you say go, even the impossible must shift its shape. So let your strength now begin to rise softly within them, turning their trembling into alignment, preparing them for a path that only your voice can open. Lord, as this journey unfolds beneath the hush of your presence, something sacred begins to awaken in the depths where doubt once lived. For every no that life has shouted has left its shadow. Yet here in your nearness, the shadows start to lose their power, and we realize how many dreams we buried simply because we grew tired of fighting alone. So we bring you every quiet resignation, every plan we folded and placed on the shelf, every whispered belief that maybe we were not chosen for anything extraordinary. And in this moment you lean close to the heart that feels forgotten, stirring a warmth where coldness had settled. And I feel you gently urging someone listening to lift their gaze, to let hope make a small return, even if it trembles, even if it feels fragile, because you are breathing possibility into places that felt permanently closed. And when you speak the direction, even mountains begin to loosen their grip. So let this be the moment where faith stretches again, where courage flickers back to life, where the soul begins to feel the unstoppable pull of your voice saying that the journey is far from over. Lord, as we remain in this unfolding stream of your presence, we begin to see how often we measured our future by the limits of our past, how many times we convinced ourselves that one closed door meant the end of all possibility, and yet here you are, rewriting the story with a tenderness that disarms every lie we carried for years, letting your light fall softly on the places we hid. And as that light stretches across the soul, there is a quiet realization rising in someone listening now, a recognition that the no they heard was never meant to be the final word. And in this sacred awakening, I sense you inviting them to lean closer, to let their weary heart rest for a moment inside your certainty, because you are the one who sees beyond the obstacles, the one who already stands in the future they are afraid to pursue, the one who whispers direction into the middle of their hesitation. And with every breath of this prayer, you are loosening the grip of fear, making space for a courage that feels almost new. So let your voice begin to resonate within them, shifting the atmosphere of their thoughts, reminding them that when you say go, even the deepest disappointments must step aside. Lord, as this moment deepens like a gentle river carving its path through hidden stone, we begin to sense the quiet truth that every detour, every delay, every painful no we faced was not a sentence of failure, but a shaping, a refining, a preparation for something the heart could not yet understand. And now, standing in the softness of your nearness, we bring you all the longing we kept tucked away, all the dreams we were afraid to speak again, all the steps we hesitated to take because the memory of rejection still echoed inside us. And as this offering rises before you, I feel you drawing even closer to someone who has carried disappointment like a shadow trailing behind them, urging them to open the smallest window of trust, to let your presence breathe tenderness into their uncertainty, because you are the one who turns endings into beginnings, the one who lifts the weight of no and replaces it with the steady pulse of your promise. And in this sacred pull, I sense you inviting them to dare to hope again, to dare to believe that your go is stirring beneath every impossibility, quietly preparing the ground for what their eyes have not yet seen, but their spirit can already feel approaching. Lord, as we continue to walk through this tender landscape of honesty and surrender, something within us begins to loosen, a heaviness we carried for so long that we forgot it wasn't ours to bear. And in this gentle release, we bring before you the silent fears that shaped our steps, the hidden doubts that whispered we were unworthy of moving forward, the internal voices that echoed every no we ever heard until they sounded like truth. And as these fragile confessions rise into the quiet of your presence, I feel you leaning toward the one who has been carrying more than their heart was designed to hold, inviting them to let their guard soften, to let the walls they built out of hurt begin to crumble just enough for your light to slip in, because you are not a God of closed doors, but a God who opens paths that human hands cannot shut. And in this holy nearness, you awaken a spark inside them, a spark that trembles with the possibility that your direction is already unfolding, and your go is already echoing in the unseen, shifting the atmosphere of their destiny and preparing them to step into the place where your promise will finally rise. Lord, as the heart settles into this growing awareness of your nearness, we begin to see how many steps we refused to take simply because we feared another disappointment. How often we stayed still, not because we lacked desire, but because the memory of past failure felt louder than the whisper of hope. And here, in the quiet unfolding of your presence, we bring you our hesitation, our trembling faith, our fragile willingness to try again, knowing you never ask us to walk in our own strength but in the certainty of your leading. And as this offering rises, I feel you turning toward the one who has been afraid to move, urging them gently to breathe, to notice how their spirit stirs when your truth brushes against their doubt, inviting them to allow this holy moment to become the spark of courage they have been waiting for, because you are preparing a path where none existed, aligning doors that once refused to open, and the very atmosphere around their life is beginning to shift at the sound of your word. So let them feel the invitation of your voice deep within, reminding them that your go carries a power that no earthly no can silence. Lord, as we continue in this gentle current of your presence, we realize how often we measured our worth by the outcomes we could see, forgetting that you measure us by the courage to keep believing even when nothing moves. And in this quiet clarity, we bring you every moment we assumed you were finished with us, every season where we mistook delay for denial, every time we believed the enemy's whisper that said we had missed our moment. And as these tender truths rise, I sense you bending close to someone who feels they are standing at the edge of everything with nothing left to offer, inviting them to lift their eyes, to let your love steady their trembling spirit. Because you are not limited by what has not yet happened, and your timing does not bow to human expectation. And in this sacred nearness, you begin to stir an inner confidence they thought they had lost. A soft yet undeniable reminder that your direction carries weight, that when you say go, even time must rearrange itself. So let this be the moment where faith remembers its strength, where the heart leans into your whisper, where the soul recognizes that the journey is far from over and the breakthrough is already forming in the unseen. Lord, as this prayer deepens like a path unfolding beneath moonlit skies, we begin to see how your hand has been guiding us, even in the seasons that felt empty, how you were shaping our endurance in the very moments we thought you were silent. And now we bring before you the remnants of our disappointment, the unanswered questions, the quiet ache of believing without seeing, because these are the places where our faith grew roots we didn't know we had. And as this offering rises, I feel you leaning toward the one whose heart beats heavy with uncertainty, urging them to let your presence steady them, inviting them to release the fear of moving forward into the unknown, because you are already standing ahead of them, preparing the way, arranging what their eyes cannot yet trace. And in this holy moment, you breathe a courage that feels both new and familiar, stirring something inside them that refuses to bow to the no the world has spoken. So let them sense the shift you are creating, the quiet unfolding of your direction, the whisper that tells them you are not finished, and that when you say go, the impossible begins to bend in their favor. Lord, as we journey further into this quiet place where the human heart meets your unwavering certainty, we begin to understand how often we confused resistance with rejection, how many times life's obstacles made us believe you were closing doors when, in truth, you were strengthening our resolve to walk through the right one. And so we lay before you the weariness of misunderstood seasons, the frustration of trying to discern your timing, the ache of waiting for a sign that felt delayed. And as these long-held burdens rise into your presence, I sense you turning with tender attention toward the one who feels forgotten at the threshold of their calling, inviting them to take one breath of trust, to let their heart open just enough for hope to slip inside again. Because you are the God who writes direction in places others see only impossibility, and your voice carries an authority that transforms hesitation into movement. So let them feel you now, stirring the deep waters of their spirit, loosening the grip of fear, awakening a strength that has been lying quietly beneath their doubt, and reminding them that when everything says no, your whisper of go becomes the compass that leads them into destiny. Lord, as this sacred unfolding continues like dawn slowly painting light across a weary landscape, we begin to see how many of our deepest wounds came from moments when hope felt betrayed, when we expected breakthrough but received silence instead. And in this tender honesty, we place before you the raw places of our soul, the disappointments we never fully admitted, the dreams we quietly buried to protect our hearts from further pain. And as these vulnerable truths rise in your presence, I sense you leaning toward the one who feels too tired to try again, inviting them to let their spirit breathe, to allow your comfort to touch the places where fear built quiet prisons. Because you are the God who walks into locked rooms and speaks life where despair tried to settle. And in this holy nearness, you begin to awaken a soft but steady hope, stirring something within them that whispers that their story is not finished, that the no of the world is not the final word. So let this moment become the gentle shift where faith begins to stand again, where courage quietly takes form, where the soul remembers that when you say go, it is not a suggestion but a promise wrapped in divine certainty. Lord, as we continue to move through this sacred current of healing and remembrance, we begin to recognize how often we tried to force open doors that were never meant for us. How many times we blamed ourselves for paths that simply weren't aligned with your purpose. And now, in this gentle illumination, we bring before you every moment we mistook delay for punishment, every season we believed we were falling behind, every tear shed in confusion over why things didn't unfold the way we imagined. And as these truths rise into the hush of your presence, I feel you turning with compassion toward the one who has been carrying silent disappointment like a weight around their spirit, inviting them to loosen their grip on what no longer serves their journey, to breathe in your reassurance that you are not withholding but preparing, because you are the God who orchestrates timing with precision, who protects us from paths that would have broken us. And in this holy nearness, you begin awakening a hope that feels almost unfamiliar, a stirring of strength that gently contradicts every no spoken over their destiny. So let them sense your whisper now, reminding them that your go is rising, steady and unstoppable, ready to guide them into what you have been shaping all along. Lord, as we journey deeper into this unfolding tapestry of your presence, we begin to realize that every moment of resistance, every closed door, every halted dream has been quietly weaving purpose into the fabric of our becoming. And now we bring before you the places where frustration pooled like stagnant water, the hidden corners of our hearts where discouragement tried to build a home, the weary thoughts that whispered we were running out of time. And as these silent confessions rise toward you, I sense you drawing close to the one who has felt overshadowed by delay, inviting them to breathe in the truth that nothing you ordain arrives late, urging them to let go of the timelines they created and embrace the divine rhythm you are unfolding, because you are the God who aligns moments with destiny, who positions breakthroughs exactly where they will shape us most deeply. And in this sacred nearness, you begin stirring a subtle but undeniable courage, a whisper of promise that gently contradicts every voice that said they should stop trying. So let them feel your guidance now, tender yet strong, reminding them that when you say go, no force on earth can stand in the way of what you have ordained. Lord, as this sacred conversation continues to unfold like light threading its way through a long night, we begin to recognize how many times we misunderstood your protection as denial, how often you shielded us from people, places, and paths that would have drained our strength. And now we bring before you every moment we felt abandoned when, in truth, you were guarding us, every no that was really a redirection, every closed door that saved us from walking into storms we were never meant to face. And as these realizations rise in the stillness of your presence, I sense you turning tenderly toward the one who has been questioning their worth because of unanswered prayers, inviting them to rest the weight of their confusion in your hands, urging them to listen closely as you breathe courage into the places where fear once dictated their steps, because you are the God who turns rejection into protection, and protection into preparation. And in this holy nearness, you begin awakening a hope that feels timeless, a stirring of resilience that whispers that every delay has been shaping the strength they will need for what comes next. So let them sense your direction now, deep and unwavering, reminding them that your go carries a certainty that transforms every previous no into part of the story you are writing. Lord, as we press further into this river of holy reassurance, we begin to recognize how deeply you have been involved in every moment that felt uncertain, how even in seasons where silence wrapped around us like fog, your hand never stopped guiding, shaping, and preparing our path. And now we bring before you the fragile parts of our faith, the doubts we tried to outrun, the questions that lingered like shadows around our purpose. And as these quiet truths rise in your presence, I sense you leaning near to the one who has felt torn between surrender and expectation, inviting them to stop punishing themselves for being human, urging them to let the warmth of your certainty soften the fears that held them still. Because you are the God who sees beyond the hesitation, who breathes life into the dreams we thought were too broken to rise again. And in this sacred nearness, you begin stirring a courage that feels gentle yet undeniable, awakening within them the confidence that your word outweighs every obstacle. So let them feel your whisper now, deep and steady, telling them that the time to move is near, and when you say go, even the impossible will unfold beneath their feet. Lord, as we approach this moment where your presence wraps around us like a mantle of quiet strength, we begin to feel the shift in the spirit, a turning of tides that once pushed against us. And now we bring you the last fragments of our hesitation, the lingering fears that clung to the edges of our hope, the fragile belief that maybe we were not ready for what you have been preparing. And as these final confessions rise in the glow of your nearness, I sense you reaching toward the one who feels both drawn and afraid, inviting them to trust the gentle pull they feel within, urging them to lean into the truth that your plans never rest on their perfection, but on your promise, because you are the God who equips before you sends, who strengthens before you reveals, who whispers destiny into hearts that tremble yet still choose to believe. And in this sacred stirring, you begin awakening a boldness that has been waiting beneath years of discouragement, a holy assurance that the season of standing still is ending. And I feel your voice echoing softly in their spirit now, reminding them that when you say go, it is the beginning of a story only heaven could write. Lord, as we step into this final breath of prayer, wrapped in the tenderness of everything you have whispered along the way, we gather every truth you have awakened within us, every spark of courage, every fragile hope that has begun to rise again. And now we place before you the fullness of who we are, the dreams we carry, the wounds we survived, the longings we barely dared to speak. And as these sacred offerings settle into your presence, I sense you drawing near to the one who stands on the threshold of their next step, inviting them to trust that your timing is intentional, urging them to let their heart align with the rhythm of your voice, because you are the God who turns hesitation into holy momentum, who transforms the faintest yes into a doorway of destiny. And in this holy stillness, I feel you stirring a deep assurance within them, a quiet but unshakable knowing that your word triumphs over every earthly limitation. So let their spirit lean into your whisper now, recognizing that your go carries the weight of heaven itself. And as they receive this truth, I bless them in the name of Jesus with clarity that steadies their feet, with peace that anchors their steps, and with strength that rises like dawn within their soul, so that as they move forward, they will walk not in fear, but in the certainty that the God who says go walks beside them, before them, and within them, now and forever.
Breathe for a moment. God is here. He wants to hear you. If this touched your heart, subscribe for more.